Today we delve into the jaw-dropping tale of WeWork, a company that soared to a valuation of over $47 billion, only to crash and burn in a spectacular display of corporate chaos. Stick around as we unravel the saga of Adam Neumann, the man who managed to bankrupt his company while pocketing a cool $2 billion. You won't believe the twists and turns that led to this financial fiasco. In the beginning, Adam Neumann dazzled Wall Street, turning WeWork into a unicorn valued at over $47 billion. He had taken real estate, which is one of the largest asset classes, and applied an innovative business model which aimed to capture the massive $16 trillion market. His initial investors compared him to Steve Jobs and said Adam was one of the best salesmen they had ever met. In fact, some investors put hundreds of millions of dollars into him after only hearing a few minutes of his sales pitch. But you see, this was all a facade. The truth is WeWork was only using an old and established business model. Basically, you rent out a large building, then you rent that building out to individual tenants. There was no tangible reason for the company to be worth billions. And that was not the only problem. Adam, the CEO that appeared charismatic, was actually just an eccentric startup bro who threw out random ideas like adding a pool in the company's headquarters basement or starting an airline for no reason. An investor in the company said his ambitions ranged from becoming Israel's prime minister to envisioning himself as the president of the world. But that's not all. The party culture at WeWork is as crazy as its CEO. Alcohol flowed freely, with tequila being the favorite, and employees were encouraged to party hard after working hard. In fact, even after firing 7% of the staff, a somber meeting turned into a tequila-filled celebration, complete with a surprise concert by Run DMC. It was a bizarre mix of layoffs and festivities that left the employees stunned and confused. And Adam is not the only problem. Enter his wife and co-founder, Rebecca Neumann. She pushed spiritualism at WeWork, aiming to use WeWork as a company that, and I quote, elevated the world's consciousness. In addition to her position as Chief Impact Officer, she also headed WeGrow, a preschool funded by WeWork, which cost upwards of $42,000 a year in tuition. The school's goal was to help kids become conscious entrepreneurs, with a quote from Rebecca saying, "There is no reason why children in elementary schools can't be launching their own business." However, the preschool was panned as a social disaster by critics. And not only that, but she wielded significant influence over Adam. In a stunning revelation, she told investors that she would be the one to choose Adam's successor were anything to happen to him. This revelation obviously caused investor fury, almost leading to her removal from the company. Now, after losing a staggering $2 billion in 2018, rather than slowing down and rethinking his business model, Adam instead started living a life of succession-level craziness. This included being chauffeured in a $200,000 Maybach sedan, traveling around the world in a $60 million Gulfstream G650 private jet, and spending over $90 million on private real estate for himself. As one former executive puts it, Adam went through money like water. But you see, these good times were about to come to an end. Enter the WeWork IPO. This is the thing that Adam thought would bring him billions and future trillions. However, when WeWork filed their documents for the IPO, bankers in Silicon Valley and Wall Street thought it was a joke. The company's financials were laughable, but it also revealed how Adam had been taking money out of the company at a pace that had never been seen before. You see, Adam had borrowed over $740 million against a portion of his stock, and he had also sold some more stock without telling anyone. To execute that share sale, he quietly launched a buyback program within the company. After selling millions of shares, employees discovered what he had been doing. So Adam had to let them participate in the program too. But they were only allowed to sell their shares at 10% of their value, while Adam had been able to sell his own shares at their full value. His excuse for this was tax reasons, but that was revealed to be a lie. And if you think that's bad, there's more. The documents WeWork filed revealed even more unethical actions. For example, Adam would purchase buildings, then make WeWork, the company he controlled, sign $1 million leases with those buildings to funnel the company's cash to himself. He also personally trademarked the word "we" in WeWork. He then sold that trademark back to the company for a cool $6 million payday. By this time, however, the investors in the company were reaching their limits, and they demanded he return the $6 million. Investors called this the most egregious example of corporate mismanagement they had ever seen. Now, once these actions were uncovered, new IPO investors that may have been interested in the company now saw it as a toxic money pit, and they all started dropping their interest. WeWork's valuation, which was originally $47 billion, fell to as little as $10 billion near its planned IPO date. That's a 79% loss of value. And that entire loss happened in just 1 month. Once that happened, the company's IPO hopes were dashed. And the board was now done with Adam and his antics. He tried to fight to retain his CEO job, but he had to face the hard truth. Bankruptcy was coming, and no one was going to put $1 into the company to help it if he was still CEO. So he resigned. But here's the twist. You might think that Adam would have faced some legal issues for taking as much money as he did from the company. But think again. In his resignation package, Adam had an agreement that gave him over $1 billion in stock as severance. But that's not all. He also left with a $500 million line of credit from the company to pay off any debts he had. And he also got a mind-boggling $185 million in consulting fees. All of this on top of the $700 million he had already taken during his time as CEO. He also got to keep his real estate portfolio, valued at over $90 million. Now I know you're thinking, what about his investors and employees? Well, SoftBank, his main investor, lost over $14 billion. And as for his employees, 5,000 of them were laid off as a result of the company's terrible finances. And those employees that were left only got about 25% of their share value. Don't forget, a lot of these employees were convinced to take shares instead of cash as payment for their work. So working at WeWork actually cost those employees money, rather than helping them make money. In conclusion, the Adam and WeWork saga is not just a story of corporate failure. It's a testament to unchecked ambition, lavish spending, and the controversial maneuvers that led to the downfall of a once prominent unicorn. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. We release a new video every Monday.